morning, children. Today I am present here with a new lesson. Lost Spring, Stories of a Stolen Childhood by Anis Young. So first of all, something about the writer. You'll feel happy to know that Anis Young is also an Indian writer like Kamala Das. Born in Rourkela, she spent her childhood in Hyderabad and got her education in Hyderabad and in the USA. Besides being a writer, she has been an editor also. One of the famous works is Unveiling India. Before starting the text, I want to introduce you to the background of the story. Here in this story, the writer, Anis Young, describes her two encounters with the children from deprived background, unprivileged background. Through them, she highlights the pitiable condition, the plight of the children who even in their tender age, in their early age, are forced into labor. Now come to the text. Why do you do this? I asked Sahib, whom I encounter every morning scrounging for gold in the garbage dumps of my neighborhood. The author, Anis Young, always in the morning, used to meet a boy whose name was Sahib, and Sahib always used to search for gold from the dump of garbage in the author's neighborhood. Here gold doesn't mean only gold. Children, here gold symbolizes all those precious things which Sahib lacked, which Sahib wanted most, like shoes, bag, money. Sahib left his home long ago, set amidst the green fields of Dhaka. His home is not even a distant memory. There were many storms that swept away their fields and homes. Sahib is not the inhabitant of this area, of Delhi, of city. Long before they used to live in Dhaka, in Bangladesh. His home was amidst the green fields in a green rural background. But he had to leave his own home long before, many years before. Sahib doesn't remember anything at all. He was told everything by his mother. And now they have settled in the big city, Delhi. This is the story of Delhi. A colony named Simapuri. And why? Why he had to leave? Why his parents came from there? Because their home, their fields, everything were ruined, destroyed, washed away in the storm by a natural calamity, disaster. And then, hoping for a better life, they came to the city. Because generally we think that in city we have more probability we have more opportunities for job. I have nothing else to do, he mutters. The author asks him that why do you do this? Means why do you pick rags? Then he gives a very simple answer. He says that I have no option. I have no other work to do except picking rag. Go to school? I say glibly. Glibly means here carelessly, thoughtlessly, without thinking much. The writer, without thinking seriously, without seriousness, she told him, why you can go to school? Why don't you go to school? But she told and just she realized that she shouldn't say this. Why did she tell this? Realizing immediately how hollow the advice must sound. Hollow means empty. She realized that her words were empty. Empty means meaningless, useless. She shouldn't tell this. There is no school in my neighborhood. When they build one, I'll go. Sahib told that in my area, there is no school. So where should I go? But when the government will make the school, will build the school, definitely I'll go there. So these lines show that even the poor children are interested in education. They want to learn. They want to go to school as Sahib wanted. If I start a school, will you come? I ask, half joking. Yes, he says, smiling broadly. Then the writer asked that suppose I am going to run a school, I am going to open a school. Will you join them? Will you come then? Then Sahib told with a smiling face, having a smiling look. He told, yes, definitely, I'll go. I'll study there. A few days later, I see him running up to me. Is your school ready? It takes longer to build a school, I say, embarrassed at having made a promise that was not meant. After some days, Sahib came to her and Sahib told, ma'am, school is ready. Then the author felt embarrassed, ashamed. She thought that why did she make such false promise? Actually, when she had told this, she told it jokingly, in a funny way. She was not serious, but Sahib took it in a serious way, seriously. So the author was feeling embarrassed because he couldn't keep the promise. But promises like mine abound in every corner of his bleak world. But I was not the first person to promise. There were several persons, official, government, who always promise, but they never keep their promise. Abounding. Here there is one word, abounding. Means to exist in a large number, in a large quantity. After months of knowing him, I asked him his name. Sahib-e-Alam, he announces. He does not know what it means. If he knows its meaning, Lord of the universe, he would have a hard time believing it. After 1 month, 2 months passed, then one day I asked him, what's your name? Then he told Sahib-e-Alam. But he didn't know the meaning of his name. If he knew the meaning of his name, then really he couldn't believe. It would be difficult for him to believe because the meaning of this word is Lord of universe. So he was not knowing that the meaning of his name is Lord of universe. Otherwise, he couldn't believe. Children, here there is irony. Irony? How? Because irony is such a figure of speech in which the meaning of the word is opposite to the real situation. So here the meaning of name is Lord of universe, but in actual sense he was a rag picker. He had nothing. He was scrounging for gold, for precious things. Unaware of what his name represents, he roams the streets with his friends, an army of barefoot boys who appear like the morning birds and disappear at noon. Unaware of his name, of the meaning of his name, not knowing the meaning of his name, carelessly, with the group of his boys. Army means here group. With the group of his boys of his own age, and all used to be without slippers, without shoes, barefoot. He used to wander here and there in search of gold, in search of precious things. They hoped, all the children hoped that maybe one day in the garbage they will find some rupees. They may find some silver coins. Like the morning birds and disappear at noon. Here there is comparison between the boys who used to wander here and there in search of gold with the birds. Birds appear in the morning and disappear at noon. In the same way, the boys started their work in the morning and till noon their work was over, which was rag picking. They came back. Over the months, I have come to recognize each of them. Why aren't you wearing chappals? I asked one. My mother did not bring them down from the shelf, he answers simply. Over the months, after some months, not only Shahid, I started recognizing each of the boys of his group. One day I asked one of the boys who was barefoot, that why? Where are your slippers? Why have you not put on? Then he told me, because my slippers were on the shelf. Shelf means children, almirah attached to the wall. And my mother didn't bring them down. And I couldn't reach. It was beyond my reach. So I am without slippers. Even if she did, he will throw them off. Adds another who is wearing shoes that do not match. When I comment on it, he shuffles his feet and says nothing. Then the another boy told, no ma'am, he is telling a lie. Actually, he never wears chappals. Even his mother would give him, then he throw them off. He couldn't wear. He is in not habit of wearing. And the boy who told this, he was himself wearing shoes, but these shoes were different in his both feet. They were not matching. And when the writer told, hey, just see your shoes, these are not matching, then he shuffled. He dragged his feet as if he was trying to hide his shoes. I want shoes, says a third boy who has never owned a pair all his life. Then the third boy told, Ma'am, I want shoes, because in his life he had never put on any shoes. Traveling across the country, I have seen children walking barefoot in cities on village roads. It is not lack of money but a tradition to stay barefoot is one explanation. I wonder if this is only an excuse to explain away a perpetual state of poverty. The writer here says that not only these boys, but in several cities, in several villages, because I have traveled so many cities, I have seen so many children barefoot, without footwear. And when they are asked, they say that it is their tradition. But the writer says, I don't believe that this is mere reason. Only due to tradition they do so. I think this shows their poor economic condition. Actually, by saying this, that this is my tradition, they want to hide their poverty. So many children are barefoot. This shows. Want to ask some questions now? So my first question is, whom does the author encounter every morning? So the answer is, the author encounters Sahib, a rag picker, every morning. Then the second question is, what does gold stand for? Means what does gold symbolize? Here gold stands for precious things, costly things, which the poor children lack, which they want most. Question number 3. What is the meaning of the name Sahib-e-Alam? The meaning of this name is Lord of the Universe. Question number 4. What explanations does the author offer for the children not wearing footwear? Although generally, when the children are asked that why do you not wear footwear, then they say because it's their tradition. But the author doesn't believe it. She doesn't believe that this may be the mere reason. She says that they don't wear footwear because of their poverty, because of lack of money, because of their poor economic condition. Now some word meaning. Encounter, come across, a casual meeting, class. Encounter is verb and noun both. When verb, then you can make a sentence like this. I encountered my old friend in the market. Noun, while passing through the forest, I had an encounter with a variety of wild animals. Class, then he was killed in an encounter. Now second word, glibly, thoughtlessly, carelessly, without thinking much. Now, scrounge for, search for, forage for, look around for. He was scrounging for meal. He was scrounging for eggs. Then it is abound in. means exist in large quantity. The river abounds in fish. Bleak, hopeless, cheerless, joyless, shuffle. Again it is verb and noun both. When verb, to walk by dragging one's feet. Noun, the action of shuffling. So these are some words. Children, here I am going to tell you something about the figure of speech irony. You see here the word Sahibe Alam. Meaning of the word is Lord of the Universe. In this story, Sahibe Alam is the name of a boy who is rag picker. So, the real situation is quite different to the meaning of the word. Irony is such a figure of speech in which the meaning of the word is quite opposite to the real situation. Now you can see the sentence, he would go to school. Here I want to tell you about the use of would. Would is a modal, and here would is used just like the modal used to. Modal used to is used to express the past repeated action, and such is the use of would here also. He would go to school means he used to go to school. So the both would and used to are used for past repeated action, but there is one difference. Used to can be used with any kind of verb, but would for past repeated action is not used with three verbs: be, have and believe. Like, he used to have a car, but you cannot say he would have a car. That will be wrong. He used to be a doctor. This is for past repeated situation, but you cannot say he would be a doctor. That will be wrong. So these are the grammatical items used here. I am going to end my session. Thanks.